Flamengo is likely to lose many players during the Federación Internacional de Fútbol Association international break, and in this case, they'll have to deal with this issue because of the date of Flamengo's match, which is right after the Federación Internacional de Fútbol Association break. It's a wild situation. I'll update you with all the details here. Remember that the Federación Internacional de Fútbol Association international break matches, Flamengo's matches in Brazil, and the Federación Internacional de Fútbol Association matches for the Brazilian and Uruguayan national teams are all in Asia. Okay. This is all crazy. Well, we also have Gabigol here to bring to you, right? Taking a jab at Atlético Mineiro after Sampaoli showed interest. Look, Gabigol really roasted them. A lot of people thought Gabigol was going to Atlético Mineiro. And also Sampaoli's interest in the midfielder Allan, right? They're players he really likes, and we're also going to show here the reaction of Flamengo's fans. With the news and also information about this news, initially brought by the newspaper O Dia, we're here bringing you more information. We're coming in just like that. Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're just arriving, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on the notification bell, and leave that awesome like on the video. Let's go. I'll start here by talking about this Gabigol issue. We had the newspaper O Dia bringing up Gabigol and Allan, right? At Atlético Mineiro, the newspaper O Dia reported it to us right away. This was yesterday. And I didn't bring it up immediately either because, man, I didn't really find the news like that. It's just that it wasn't something we could confirm, guys. It wasn't something that could be confirmed. No one on Gabigol's side said anything, not even Gabigol's own statement. Later on social media, right? Having dinner with Atlético Mineiro, giving Atlético Mineiro a hard time, so we bring it here. An article came out in Coluna do Fla, even giving credit to the newspaper O Dia. Jorge Sampaoli asks for the signing of a Flamengo player and dreams of Gabigol. It's Sampaoli who recently arrived at Atlético Mineiro and is already planning the next transfer window for the team from Minas. So, the Argentine coach requested the signings of Allan, a midfielder from Flamengo, and Gabigol, a striker from Cruzeiro. Ex-Flamengo player, right? According to the newspaper O Dia, Allan is currently in coach Felipe Luiz's plans for next season. Thus, the red-black midfielder will leave Flamengo only if the club receives an attractive offer. I would even say it would have to be an offer close to what Flamengo paid, right? Or an amount that Flamengo considers good for the player, but that Felipe Luis uses as a reference. They see the player as an important option in the squad, even though Allan's numbers aren't good, right? In the games he plays, Flamengo rarely wins, right? Gabigol now at Cruzeiro is another target for Jorge Era, which we'll discuss here. For Atlético Mineiro, Jorge Sampaoli's target, the former Flamengo striker, is not a starter in Belo Horizonte. But even so, Gabigol sent a message, okay? Do you have the rest of the info? Look, just saying that currently Atlético is at the bottom of the Brazilian championship table, but moved away from the relegation zone after the win over Mirassol. Okay, so the team should even bring Gabigol for this game. So Jardim should bring Gabigol for this match against Flamengo. We don't know how the Flamengo fans are going to react, and if Cruzeiro can't beat Flamengo, if Flamengo wins the game against Cruzeiro, Cruzeiro is practically out of the title race, and it will be just between Flamengo and Palmeiras. And it's also worth mentioning that if Cruzeiro, with many rounds left, is already out of the race, it's very likely they'll go through another restructuring. Signings and the possibility of Gabigol leaving exists, right? Flamengo, Sampaoli's former team, is also in the mix here, just like Palmeiras and so on. They're in the semifinals of the Copa Libertadores. They're leading the Brazilian league, and now with an even bigger advantage, right? And so we have this possibility that was brought up by the newspaper O Dia. Got it? The striker is attracting attention from clubs in the United States and also from Atlético Mineiro itself. Gabigol is a player that Sampaoli likes a lot. But as soon as this news started to circulate, we also had sources connected to Atlético Mineiro. Guys, from there, what's the name of the portal? Channel, I believe, source of rumors, Gabigol and Allan for 2026 at Galo, I believe. You found out that the information from Odia newspaper isn't true, right? Jorge Sampaoli from Rio de Janeiro requested Cruzeiro's Gabigol and Flamengo's Allan. OPEN quotes, we're not going to talk about names at this moment. In any case, I can say that this information isn't true. I believe so. Unbothered by that, Gabigol dominated Atlético Mineiro anyway, okay? So, the EU Accredito article says the coach is planning reinforcements, but Gabigol and others aren't included in his plans. It's Sampaoli's, it's us. We also bring here the information about what Gabigol did, right? About his post, which sparked many comments. Gabigol went on X and posted himself waving the flag, right? Gabigol posted himself waving the flag of the biggest in Minas, right? Making fun of Atlético Mineiro after their interest, right? It hasn't been confirmed that Sampaoli and Atlético Mineiro are signing Gabigol. And Gabigol posted a blue heart and him waving the flag of the biggest in Minas with Cruzeiro's mascot. So there you go. The Atlético fans are furious. Gabigol's biggest feat for Cruzeiro, scoring against Galo, but while playing for Flamengo. A little post on Twitter. Average idle score, 9 out of 10. These guys don't forgive, my brother. It's Fernando here who posted, here's your reinforcement, Sampaoli. Message delivered. And the little figure peeing on Atlético Mineiro's crest. Yeah, man, the rivalry over there is intense, right? Oh, man, Gabi, in the goal, aqui é Galo posting, yeah. So people are making fun, right? Is it because Gabigol disrespected Atlético Mineiro? No, it's about Sampaoli's interest, man. But there were a lot of comments here. Helbert sent this. Take your Gabigol, Sampaoli, ha ha ha. Atlético Mineiro, we've already got too many chubby guys here. Thank God, promise. It's Raposan with the chicken in his mouth. Ha ha ha. I love you guys, the people, the fans, everyone. Yeah. Dine Santos urinated on the chickens. Yeah, he's the devil's lawyer. Don't pee on their heads, okay? Yeah, man, didn't even give the broke side of Minas time to dream about you. Ha 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 ha. Guys, come on, just commenting, joking around, man. It got engagement. That's it. Look at that. So we talked to a source close to Allan who said that Atletico hasn't reached out recently and that the player is happy working at Flamengo and looking to earn his spot with coach Felipe Luis. Nothing has been confirmed regarding Allan's departure, okay? And what about Flamengo's fans? Obviously, right? When this issue about the possibility of Allan leaving was brought up, right? Coluna do Flamengo posted about it, and then many fans were even wanting Allan to be negotiated. And we had the defender sidelined by Felipe Luis venting about his absence from the games, right? Yeah, he says he's not sad, but he vented. Pablo, the defender, right? Who hasn't been used by Flamengo, used social media and vented about the current moment he's going through at Flamengo. I want them to see more than just Pablo, who's been training alone at Flamengo for 8 months, but is still happy. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm okay with the situation. I'm saying that with the situation I'm living in, I'm not sad. And it's not about salary, it's not about what I earn. There are a lot of people who are millionaires and are depressed in bed. It's not about what you have, but about what you carry inside. What I carry is much bigger than the situation I'm living in, okay? Eh? So, Pablo venting there recently posted wearing a jersey from a team that's always losing to Flamengo and all that, right? It annoyed some of the club's fans, but we know what's most important, right? It's that Flamengo made his choice. The player could have joined another club, taken a small pay cut, or left for a new team, but chose to stay and keep his high salary. And nobody wanted to pay that amount for him to play, right? So would Flamengo negotiate because of him? Yeah, right? I understand Pablo's dissatisfaction, but at the same time, I also think that we had examples from Renato Augusto himself at Fluminense, right? Players who, when they realized it wasn't working anymore, they left or retired. Or for, yeah, look. The Flamengo players on the preliminary list for the Brazilian national team call up have been decided. It's just a preliminary list, not the final one. Lance reports that Leo Ortiz, Alexandro, and Samuelino are on Italian coach Carlo Ancelotti's preliminary list. The three players are important pieces in Felipe Luis's system. They were called up, yeah, pre-selected, but we had that issue with Alexandro, right? And anyway, last time Leo Ortiz wasn't on the preliminary list. Even Leo Pereira was there last time.
Really?
And so we had only Samuelino starting in that loss to the Bolivian national team, right? So important players for Flamengo being called up. There's also Arrascaeta, who's in great form and will be called up by Uruguay. There's De La Cruz and Viña, who might be, and Varela, who probably will be too. Yeah, then we have Gonzalo Plata, yeah. We still have Pulgar, but no, because he's recovering. But there's still, why not Rossi, right? Right? And there's still the call up of Carrascal, okay? So there are a lot of players that Flamengo loses during the Federação Internacional de Football Association dates, and there's a game right on the day after the Federação Internacional de Football Association date, right? And that's really unfortunate. Flamengo has a game against Botafogo scheduled for the next day, right? Duo. Flamengo plays on the 15th against Botafogo at Engenhão. Okay. And on October 10th, there's Brazil versus Korea, right? Yeah. On October 14th, there's Japan versus Brazil. Okay, so that's it. How is that possible, right? A trip from Asia to Brazil one day before Flamengo's game, right after the Federação Internacional de Football Association date against Botafogo. Yeah, it's shameful. Flamengo will likely have several players called up for the Uruguayan, Brazilian, and other national teams. Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? Once again, we hope that the guys get called up. So, but the way the CBF is doing it, scheduling the game for the next day is absurd. Look, meanwhile, Pulgar is starting physical conditioning and has a chance to return to Flamengo after the Federação Internacional de Football Association date. Yeah. He could already be listed for the match against Bahia, which is the next game after Cruzeiro. Okay? He is not yet training with the rest of the group, but he should gradually return over the next few days.
All right, okay.
It's possible that he'll be 100% ready to play against Botafogo. First match after the Federação Internacional de Football Association date that we were talking about here at Engenhão. Yes, he can be included in the squad, yes. He should also be available for the match against Racing on the 22nd at Maracanã. Okay? So, does Flamengo have the possibility of this reinforcement from Eric Pulgar in the Libertadores in the semifinal against Racing? Yes, that's right. He might be playing in the match against Botafogo, or even be listed for the game against Bahia. Up in the Northeast, Flamengo will meet Rogério Ceni again, who has never even drawn a match against Flamengo, right? We have a situation here to share with you. Diego Alves gave Rossi some advice after the match against Corinthians. Yeah, it was on KZTV. Speaking of KZTV, they're runners up again, huh? Runners up at Sintonia Esportiva, right? My reporters, Gabriel Orfon, Bruno Dobis, right? They're the ones who play for Sintonia. They were champions of the Sergi Cup, and KZTV from the Vascaíno KZ runners up again.
Runners up.
Again. Look, it is. Diego Alves said the following. As soon as the game ended, I told Rossi, that's enough. You can stop saving penalties now. If not, soon, I'm not okay. Yeah, I'm not even here talking about soccer anymore. Man, Diego Alves complaining, just joking around with Rossi, right? Making a complaint in a joking way, right? So he stopped saving penalties to avoid overshadowing Diego Alves, right? But he won't. Diego Alves is a legend too. No, that's not it. So we know it's just some good-natured fun between Diego Alves and Agustin Rossi. Okay, yeah, man, I can't believe it. Yeah, I saw it. I just got a video here from Fasincani, Felipe Fasincani, the Palmeiras fan. He's a good guy with me, man. I talk to him all the time. But he was saying that he thought Rossi was very weak, that Rossi was very weak. Look, that thing about Rossi being weak, huh? Time is great for these things, right? Yeah, Rossi is having a great moment, right? Yeah. And we're bringing it to you now. It's something they really like to talk about, right? About Flamengo, saying that Flamengo's fans are like a theater audience and all that. And I really want to watch it with you guys. Images of soccer from around the world. Look, over at Corinthians' home, look, Corinthians fans are quiet hearing Flamengo fans sing, "What a show for you all," right? Theater crowd. That's what they say, right? That's right. Flamengo's fans are silencing them. The Neoquímica Arena is priceless and spectacular. I told you yesterday that Ramon Abate Abel will referee Flamengo vs Cruzeiro. Keep an eye on him. Once again, another controversial refereeing because these guys will do anything to take this title away from us. Flamengo is favored. FMG reported that Flamengo has a 52% chance of winning the Brazilian Championship. So, according to the updated projections after the match between Flamengo and Corinthians, Flamengo remains the main favorite for the title, with a 52.9% probability of becoming champion. Palmeiras appears in second place with 30.1%, followed by Cruzeiro, which has 15.3%. Meanwhile, Mirassol, the sensation of the competition, is still in the running, but with much lower chances, just 1.2%. The fight is between Flamengo, Palmeiras, and Cruzeiro, and if Flamengo beats Cruzeiro on Thursday, Cruzeiro will be knocked out. Cruzeiro needs to beat Flamengo to stay alive. If Flamengo wins, Cruzeiro is out. And to top it off, Palmeiras faces Vasco. Can you imagine? Vasco was the deciding factor. They tied with Flamengo, beat Cruzeiro, they could beat Palmeiras, they could tie with Palmeiras. And then Palmeiras faces Sampaoli at Morumbi, and Flamengo faces Bahia, who just beat Palmeiras in the last round. So these rounds could decide a lot. If these two rounds go well for Flamengo, look, my friends, we have a great chance of Flamengo being taking big steps toward becoming the Brazilian champion. We know it's very difficult. The Brazilian championship is very competitive. Anything can change, but Flamengo is coming in strong in the competition. Flamengo pews an A. I also set aside some other situations to talk to you about. We had the racing player Adrian Martinez, racing striker, talking about the match against Flamengo in the Libertadores da América semifinal. And he said the following: titles are won on the field, not in interviews. It seems like there's only one team on the continent, but we, inside racing's locker room, know that the Libertadores is a tournament of tradition and grit, where a heavy jersey makes a difference. Flamengo does have an expensive squad, well-known players, but you don't win titles in interviews or on paper. It's decided on the field. And Garcin has already faced Giga, players from Brazil and Argentina. And it's not the first time they have made us the underdogs. That pressure of being the favorites is on them, not us. We're going to step onto the field with humility, but also with courage, because we won't hide. Our goal, of course, is to play with intensity, defend strongly, take advantage of every space, and show that we have the quality to advance. It doesn't matter if it's at Maracanã, packed, with 60,000 fans splitting the stadium. For us, we've already shown many times that we can be strong even when playing away from home. Racing is a big club. Its history has tradition, and that can't be ignored. We respect Flamengo, but we don't fear them. On the field, it's 11 against 11, and we are confident that we can surprise them. Flamengo is tough. Anyone who thinks racing will just be a bystander in this match is mistaken, because we're prepared to fight until the end. So Adrian Martinez, right? With a strong message about this Racing Flamengo match, showing that they're ready to go all out against Flamengo. Gosh, it's not going to be, man, it's not going to be easy. No, it's going to be, look, it's going to be a semifinal. It'll make everyone's hair stand on end, as Silvio Luis used to say. That's it. Please follow, like, and share everywhere. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, enable notifications, and like the video. Thank you for your company. Red Black greetings from Flamengo.